Sorry for the delay, folks. We're waiting on Mr. Thorner. He got stuck in traffic, and as soon as he gets here, we will start. He's just a couple minutes away.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Before I call the meeting to order, I just like to say my most sincere apologies to the board members and to all of you that came promptly at 7 o'clock. I pride myself on being on time. Unfortunately, a work obligation took me that I was at downtown. I literally drove straight here, so appreciate everybody's consideration and tolerance. And again, my most sincere apologies for being late this evening. And so with that, I'd like to call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Strong was in communication with me earlier, and he's dealing with a family issue, but should be here. So I don't think we need to excuse him just yet, but he indicated that he should be here in about about 20 or so past the hour is what he's hoping for. So if we need to excuse him, we will, but he was in communication with me prior. Ms. Drake, any changes to the agenda this evening?
There are no changes, but I would like to announce that the restrooms, in case anybody is needing that, are if you go straight towards the windows in the office and turn left down the hallway, there are restrooms down the hallway.
Okay. Communications this evening.
I have the response to public comment from the school board meeting on April 23rd. There were 3 topics of public comment. One was staffing for the program for advanced learning, the PAL program at White Hollow. There was a comment about a question about the sexual health curriculum for elementary students. And then there was a question about the family community survey regarding the West Valley School District. So regarding the PAL program, staffing for the PAL program is based on student enrollment. With the committed enrollment for the 24-25 school year, multi-age classrooms would have been in an overload status. So there will be no change to staffing for the PAL program for the 24-25 school year. Dr. Finch sent an apology to families for the anxiety that the process caused this spring, and he said that he is committed to changing the timeline for the PAL program identification and commitment in the future. Regarding sexual health, there has been no change to the sexual health curriculum for elementary students in West Valley. Sexual health begins at grade 5 in the West Valley School District, and if a parent would like to review the curriculum, they should contact their child's school principal. Regarding the family and community survey, as suggested by the community member, the district extended the deadline for the family community survey, and the district promoted the survey on social media. Survey results will be shared with the school board and the community at the data summit this summer.
Thank you. Next up, item 6, School Presentation Innovation Center. And since you sound like you're a little under the weather.
I am feeling amazing. I actually am feeling a lot better.
Okay,
Thank you. It's
that's
just my
good.
voice, but I would like to comment that you forgot about staff.
Oh my goodness. I'm just,
some
we've
really
got
great
two
people here.
more things that I'm excited to move on to the Innovation
Trying to
Center.
save my voice.
Exactly. So
I appreciate that.
5B is we have 2 other communication items. 5B, staff retirement recognition.
Yes, we have some amazing people to recognize tonight who are retiring from the West Valley School District. So when I call the person's name and report the years of service, if you're here, please come on up so that we can congratulate you. Otherwise, let's just clap because maybe they're at home watching from home. So first we have Kirsten Livingston, who is a special ed teacher at White Hollow. Her hire date was August 27th, 2012, and she has 12 years of service in West Valley. Robin Bigelow is a teacher at Apple Valley. Her hire date is January 24th, 1994. She's 30 years of service in West Valley. Linda Miner, music teacher at Mountain View. Her hire date, June 23rd, 2020. 4 years of service in West Valley. Pam First, special ed teacher at Summit View. Hire date, September 22nd, 1993. 31 years of service in West Valley. And last, we have Audine Smart, academic competency designer here at the Innovation Center. Her hire date, August 27th, 1993. 31 years of service in West Valley. Thank you so much to all of our dedicated retirees.
Thank you. Mr. Conley, would you like to tell us about the 2024 audit report? Oh, sorry.
The report's in the board packet, so you guys can read that. But the important thing is that there was no findings, which is good. They actually focused on ESSER 3, which is our federal piece of it. So I'm very excited about that. And I'd like to send a shout out to my team, Sheila Wood, Candy Perimeter, Gilbert, and the rest of my team there. So they did a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, was there a question?
Thank you.
Overly exuberant.
Well, I was already moving on too fast this evening, and I didn't want to make the same mistake twice. Okay, now we're on to item 6, school presentation, and we are delighted to be back at the Innovation Center this year. And Ms. Drake, would you like to introduce the program for us this evening?
Absolutely. I'd like to introduce the principal, Mr. Tooman. I believe he has some students here, and he is going to present about the Innovation Center desegregation plan and the data.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so there's more than the desegregation plan, but that's some data that we'll get to. But I wanted to have a chance to have some of our innovators, which is what we call our students here, talk about their program and the plan and what they're in and their pathways. They can do a way better job than I can explaining what they do during their day. So I'm excited, and we have a bigger crowd here than what we were anticipating, but I'm happy to get to show off what these guys are doing. So I'll let them come up, and Cody's first. So.
Hi, my name is Cody Florine. I go to the West Valley Innovation Center, and I go to the computer science platform or pathway. In computer science, we do a lot of different things that vary from software and hardware things. When we work on our software stuff, we do stuff like Blender, so we'll learn how to do 3D models. We'll learn how to use other different programs like Unity, where we can make games, we can make websites. We also learn how to use coding languages. We have a whole section called Algebra and Coding, where we can learn algebra as we learn how to code, which can be really helpful. We also get a lot of Microsoft certifications that are, how do I say this? They're known in the industry as a large standard, and it's stuff like Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, that kind of stuff. So we can get certifications for those, all for free, which is really nice. We also deal with showing kids how to make a computer, how to build one, how that all works. We also learn how to make servers. We learn how to admin servers, that kind of stuff. So that's all kind of the general things that we do. We're just trying to prepare students to learn as much as they can about computer science and IT before they get into the 10 through 12 program, where they can further their development throughout the computer science area. In 10 through 12, you can do stuff like cybersecurity, so you can go further into that. We have a couple students that are in national contests for cybersecurity. We also have students that are learning how to make video games and sell them for real money. We have a student, I think they have a business for a video game, so that's really cool. So that's all stuff that we learn at the Innovation Center. In the 7 through 9 pathway for computer science, we also do this thing called Future City, where we'll go and make a scale city with a lot of programming and moving parts within it. We get a lot of English standards doing that. We have to take notes. We had the Yakima City Planner come in and talk to us about how Yakima has been built up. So we took that knowledge and made a city out of that. So that's all stuff that we do in our pathway and throughout the Innovation Center.
Good evening, everyone. Today I'd like to share my experience in the STEM engineering program I've been enrolled in for the past 2 years. It's been an enlightening experience, and I truly believe the value in this program. In this class, we have developed into various aspects of engineering, from mechanical, electrical, and even software engineering. But what struck me the most was our collaborative projects with welding and machining and health science 1012 that we have done in the past. During those projects, each team member brought different unique skills to the table, and through effective communication and teamwork, we were able to overcome challenges in our world today. While doing all these projects, our teacher, Mr. Melton, had us do business and marketing side of all of these projects. In the past 2 years, I have learned so much from designing, programming, and even marketing. We have encountered many setbacks and failures along the way in every project, but through these experiences that we have learned that failure becomes a stepping stone to success. We have learned resilience and adaptability. Perhaps the most rewarding moment was when I completed my final project, seeing my audio speakers come to life and succeed in all the things I built and designed them to do was incredibly fulfilling. As we are peeking into our 4th year at the Innovation Center, I urge us to encourage collaboration, curiosity, and willingness to learn from failure. Thank you for listening to me talk about STEM Engineering 7-9.
Hello, I'm Nevaeh Hendred, and I'm in 7th through 9 agricultural robotics. So in agricultural robotics, we do a lot of designing, building, and programming. So we do a lot of variety of projects with agriculture and robotic farming to that. So right now we're working on this thing called a farm bot, which is an automatic farming mechanism that we are using. So we have a lot of people in our class, so we rotate through the class so they all get to have the experience that they would want from the agriculture part. So what we do is it's designed to seed, water, plant, and do all of the things that you would typically want in a farming thing. So it makes it 10 times easier for us, and we get to learn a lot of programming in it, building it, and we even had to build it from scratch. And we also have, for the robotics part, we do a lot of building it. So we would program it, we'd build it, we'd design it. So right now we are working on mini RC cars, which is it's really hard because we have to make it go around stuff. We have to make it jump stuff and all that. So it's a very fun activity that we get to do, also bring all the math standards, the reading standards, and all the standards that we need for that. It is very nice because we get to use all of the things that we would want for, like, if you're at home and you want to do something really fun, we get to bring that to school, but then we get to make it into a school environment. Right now we're doing IXL, which is reading and math. It's way easier, but also harder. So we have to pace ourselves, which is, personally, I work way better doing that because I would not want to sit in a classroom for an hour each day and just doing that with the teacher. We get to help other students, like the 9th graders help the 7th graders and the 8th graders help the 7th graders. I like having a variety of people in my class because I get to have a whole bunch of experience with different grades. It might be hard because some 9th grader might be better at something, but they're really nice and they help us do what we want. So that's why I really like the agricultural robotic 7th through 9th, and I'm really happy that they're doing a 9th through 12th. Or no, 10th through 12th. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you. So those guys got absolutely no help from me for their presentation. I just asked them to come, and I knew they'd rock it, and they did. So thank you very much. Great job, guys. We have 4 pathways here at the school. We also have a health science pathway is 7-12. However, the person that we have for that is at a driver's ed course tonight. So that's why we don't have high school kids here too. I've noticed that once they can drive, their evening schedule fills up pretty quick. So coming to the school board meeting is not the top of their agenda most of the time, unless they have an agenda. So, but yeah, so one of the things, so the desegregation data, and I'll try to get this going here, that we wanted to share is when one of the many goals that we had for when we were talking about this school is to make sure our demographics at the Innovation Center look like the demographics of West Valley School District. So that was initially, our numbers were off a little bit, but we've been working pretty hard at that. One of the struggles that everybody has in CTE classes and in trades in general is underrepresentation of females in those trades. So we're working really hard to do that. We had Jed Waters was able to get us a grant last year. So that is not the data, but we'll get to it. Anyways, we were able to get a grant, and maybe I'll get the data. It's in your packet. But we're able to produce a video that's highlighting some of the efforts of our female students that are here at this school and getting people to picture themselves in maybe non-traditional fields for those people. So it's, if you've never used a welder or pictured yourself using a welder, it's a little hard to imagine yourself in that class. But once you're there and you're doing it, you're able to do that. So what you can't see up there now is that our percentage of female students has grown this year. So that's been good, and we're going to continue to work on that. These three and plus one more were the students I took to the middle level campus to talk about our program. So they did an awesome job there as well. So that was good to see. While we're waiting for that data to get up there, just some other things about the Innovation Center. So we are finalizing our enrollment for next year. Right now, we're full in grades 7 through 12 in computer science with a waiting list right now. So, and we haven't got the information out to the people that have applied yet. So we're a little bit of delay on that. 7-12 STEM engineering is nearly full. We still have some room in health science, and then our brand new program, Ag Robotics, has some room in it as well. And then with this next year, we're going to go, like Nevaeh mentioned, we'll have grades 10 through 12 Ag Robotics. So we're growing that program, and we know we're going to be a little light with students on that just because we're growing them up internally, but we intend to continue to grow that. So that's been great to see. We are excited to have our second graduating class coming up here. So that will be June 5th at 6:30 right here at the IC. So all are welcome. So it was really fun to do that last year. I have some ideas in graduation numbers. It's, we're a small class right now, but they are changing daily. So I don't really want to throw a number out there right now for you. So we have some juniors who've acquired enough credits to graduate. So they're making some decisions in terms of whether that's a pathway that they want to do or if they want to stick around for another year. And so and it changes every day. So we're working on that. I'm really excited this year to have the addition of our math science teaching position here at the Innovation Center. That's been a game changer for us. So as we grew to a 10-12 program, having somebody here who could help us with the upper level math and science has just been awesome. And so we're going to continue to grow with that. We'll have an English teaching position here this next year too as well. We had that this year with Mrs. Winters. Was an emergency sub for us this year in that position. She just did a fantastic job for us. So looking forward to growing that position and helping our designers. As you heard them mention, students are in their pathways, but they're getting their math, science, English standards in that pathway as much as possible. And that's really the goal of the school, is to have that all be applied and built into the program in the projects that they do. And we know it's there. We just have to identify it and help them identify that. So that's really the work of what we're doing here. We have this year, we have 3 students, seniors, who are working during the day as apprentices or interns. So that's been awesome. And again, more of the work that we're trying to grow that as much as we can, and including our first female apprentice in the STEM engineering class. So she's working with one of our industry partners, MBI Construction, here in town. And that's been a great partnership. But we have lots of other people in the community that their businesses that we were working closely with, or trying to. So that's been great to do. The data's up there on the screen. So the 22-23 school year, you can see the district and the IC is Innovation Center. We don't have a whole bunch of data because we're coming into our 4th year, so we're just getting that going. But encouraged by the growth of our female students and also just getting those data as close to what West Valley School District is as possible. So and getting the word out. This is a school that's open to any West Valley student. So it's not an alternative school. It's not a gifted school. It's a school that's available to every student. And like we say, I feel fortunate to work in this district, and I know that we have very successful schools across the board. It's just exciting to offer another opportunity for our students. So we have a very, very successful comprehensive high school. It's just nice to have another option for our students that want to do that. So, and students that come here can participate in sports. They get a diploma. So having that flexibility is really nice. You mentioned, we didn't mention, you noticed the retirements, and I cannot not talk about Audine Smart, who is retiring from the Innovation Center. I think 32 years. I've worked with her for probably 28 of those years. So she's been a great colleague and friend. She started the pilot for this program before this building even started at the junior high, and I cannot overstate her role in making this program successful. So she will be missed for sure. So thank you, Audie. And I know you're listening because I know you do that. And then finally, just thank you to the school board, administration, and our community for the support, because without that, we wouldn't be here. So it's crucial. It's vital. And when the State Board of Education came here 2 years ago, that was one of the questions they asked me, was it what makes this possible? And there's lots of things, but without the support of the school board, administration, and community, it just wouldn't happen. So thank you very much. I'm available for questions if you have them.
I've got one for you. I was intrigued to hear you've got a couple juniors that are able to finish early. How does a junior finish school early? A whole entire year. I mean, some of those are students for the most part that have been part of this program. Many of them they're on their fourth year because they started in the pilot. Many of those guys, so they were working hard to get standards met at an early spot and just continue to work at that. So they've, one of the goals anywhere is we want students to take ownership of their learning, and they clearly did that. And so that's what they're doing, and then making a plan. So they have other options. If they want to stay on campus, they could take Arizona State University classes. They could do some other classes that way. And but yeah, that's how they did that.
Russ, how do you connect the apprenticeships or the businesses that come to you, or you go to businesses?
Yes.
Or the students?
Yeah, all of that. And a part of the role of the designers, or my grades 10 through 12, is to help make those connections. So, and also Mr. Waters is very crucial in making that happen. He's made lots of connections with businesses in this community, and getting our apprentices out there and having them be great assets to those companies that they go into that's how we hopefully can continue to build that. But that is also the work, because as our senior class grows, we're going to try to find more and more spots for people out there to work. And so, but that's really fun to see them when they do that. And there's a video on our website that I've seen probably 100 times, maybe more, about apprenticeship stuff, right? So, but it's true. And Mr. Sorensen has that statement where he says when they come back on campus and they're just super proud, and they are. So it's kind of exciting. They also order a lot of Uber Eats because they have money. So it's kind of funny. I'm a little jealous, but yeah. Great.
One question that I have is, you talked a little earlier about that one of the pathways has a wait list. The computer science one, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So question is it, so like, if you're a student, is it first come, first serve for signing up?
Yeah,
it is first come.
Right
first
now,
serve.
we timestamp that and try to advertise that as much as possible prior to opening that up, so it's as fair as possible. I don't like having to tell somebody no, so that's really difficult. So I anticipate that being a larger and larger problem. So I'll work with administration to figure out the most fair answers for that. Yeah.
No. Sure. Well, that was, I guess, my main question is it, I that's what I assumed it to be, as a first come, first serve. And then if it's not, then, but it is. So then my follow-up questions really don't apply.
That's okay. So, well, and when we call it, so it's an enrollment process, and we ask for prospective students to go through an application process, which is really not, it's more like it's engagement on your interest. So if you're signing up for computer science, but you don't really like computers, you are going to be miserable. And so the designers really want to meet with prospective students, and they meet. So even prior to family engagement, they're setting up a meeting with those families to double check and make sure that the engagement, the interest level is from the student more so than from the parents. But I understand parents want that, but the student has to want to be here, or at least have an interest in it, or they're just not going to be happy. And I think what you heard too is that the students that are successful, including like our juniors that are at that spot of, they've got to take that ownership of the learning, and it takes a while to learn that too. So for all of us. Right?
But there isn't like, so you apply and the student wants to be in. So they've checked those two boxes. They've applied on time. They have an interest in. Is there any qualification that the student has to meet in order to be a qualified candidate into the program? Or is it purely they signed up on time and they want to be in the program?
For now, yeah.
For now, yes.
Yes, right. Yeah, I know. And like, again, going back several years now, when we were talking about this program and the idea for it, including that stuff right there, is that We wanted to be this program that was available to any West Valley student who had an interest. So, and I can say, we're trying our very best to stay true to that.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I would just say I thought the students did an excellent job of speaking. It's hard to get up in front of people and talk, and so great job getting up there. So, and thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, no. Thank you guys. Thanks for the opportunity. Yes, I agree. They did awesome. So,
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we are on to item 7, which is the public comment period. Just a couple of things about the public comment period. Just a couple of introductory comments. First of all, members of the public that would like to address the board should have signed in. We have a sign-in sheet that is here. I will call on folks. If I've butchered your name, I apologize in advance for that. I'll do the best that I can. I don't think, well, we'll see how I do on the names, but we'll call you up. We'll have you step to the microphone. Please identify yourself. We generally give you 3 minutes. I say generally. I'm not in the habit of cutting people off, but we allow for about 3 minutes. The public comment period, however, is not a proper form to address concerns about a specific staff member. If you have a concern about a specific staff member, you are encouraged to make an appointment with our superintendent, Dr. Finch. Dr. Finch is absent this week, so in his absence, I would encourage you to either reach out to Ms. Drake or Mr. Conley, and they will be happy to meet with you at a mutually convenient time. One other thing about the public comment period for those that are not frequent attenders of school board meetings, it's the little bit of the awkward part of the meeting, in that you may address the board and have questions, but the board will not be responding to your questions this evening. We take notes, and the superintendents will also are taking notes, and they will respond at the next school board meeting. You heard earlier a response to public comments. So it is truly a public comment period where we will receive those comments. It is not a public dialogue period with the board. With that in mind, we have 7 people that have signed up, and we'll go through that list and then we'll go from there. So first on the list is Dr. Carl Olden.
Thank you very much for the opportunity to address the board. My name is Carl Olden. I'm a family physician. I've been here in Yakima in practice for 40 years. And my partners and I care for a good number of the kids in the West Valley School District. We're located at 72nd and Tieton, and intentionally we're part of this community. I have a concern about the lack of mental health and behavioral resources available to school-age children in our community in general, and had the opportunity to attend a presentation by the ESD 105 last Monday, where the behavioral health program folks there came and talked to us, a group of family physicians, about opportunities in the community. There is a grant between ESD 105 and Heritage University to train and embed 30 master's level mental health counselors in schools in ESD 105. West Valley and East Valley school districts do not participate in the ESD 105 program and are not eligible to have any of those behavioral health folks placed in any of our schools. If you have children in school, or if you attend a family physician practice, the number of kids who are referred to us for evaluation of struggles with socialization and classroom behaviors continues to rise, while the resources to assist those children and their families has not kept up with the need. School-based counselors with professional training in behavioral health are in extremely short supply, and eliminating positions could mean the difference between educational success and failure for those children whose behavioral and emotional challenges can no longer be addressed in the school environment. A quote from the ESD 105 School Counselor Support Program: "School counselors are highly educated, professionally certified individuals who help students succeed in school and plan their careers. An integral part of the total education system, school counselors help students form healthy goals, mindsets, and behaviors. With the aid of a school counselor, students learn to develop effective collaboration, and cooperation skills. They practice perseverance, develop time management and study skills, and learn self-motivation and self-direction habits. Those need to start in the elementary environment. Schools where challenged learners spend 180 days a year in a setting with other children whose educational experiences are adversely affected when their classmates do not have consistently available behavioral and mental health support in the school. For 20 years, the National Center for Education and Maternal and Child Health and the Federal Health Resources and Service Administration Maternal and Child Health Bureau has published recommendations for schools about counseling, outlining the key resources needed to successfully address student mental health and behavioral needs. It should be a priority of every school district that the positions filled with appropriately trained professionals to address mental health and behavioral health challenges are considered a top priority for the future of our students in our community. I'd urge you to consider that this is a necessary resource, that we are short in the community for all of the behavioral health resources that are available to our children. Children's Village has a 2-year waiting list for children with autism. We are sending kids to Seattle and Spokane for behavioral health counseling. So families are driving, 300-mile round trip to Seattle, 400-mile round trip to Spokane just for once a week visit with a counselor because there's none available in Yakima. Younger students need more resources. As they're learning the process of socialization, the elementary setting should be a top priority to maintain staffing of counselors trained in mental health and behavioral health resources. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sarah, is it Rock?
Again, my name is Sarah Rock. I'm horrible at public speaking, so I apologize, but it's kind of to piggyback off of him. My son attends Summitview Elementary. He has a lot of behavioral, emotional issues. Like you said, 2-year waiting list to get on Children's Village. We have gone to Pasco for help for him. And now we're losing a counselor, and it's like terrifying for me to lose the help that he gets from some of you right now. I feel like there's too many kids at the school for one counselor to be able to assist in all their behavioral, emotional issues that happens daily. I know he is very dependent on this counselor, and it's just hard for him to get through the day, and sometimes they just need that extra care. So I just want them to be aware that the kids have so many issues and need that extra help, and I feel like they're not going to get that. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Tracy Sawyer.
Hello, I'm Tracy Sawyer. I am a parent of a band student and a member of the West Valley Music Boosters. I'm on the board. And I'm here, I just want to express concern that my daughter has been in band since 5th grade, and she's graduating in 3 weeks, and not one of her band teachers is a continuing teacher in this district. And I find that alarming. I find it alarming that she's had 3 band directors as a high school student. And I'm a teacher in Yakima School District. And you know about our RIFs, right? All of our music teachers have been reinstated. They've all of their contracts have been, they were the first to be recalled. This was the order: dual language, special education, music education. We have 2 openings in Yakima School District for music teachers because of retirements. So that's alarming to me that we've had so much turnover in our music department. And I feel bad that I haven't done this sooner, but I want to highlight some of the accomplishments that our bands have had over the last 2 years, since COVID. My daughter was part of a quintet that placed 2nd at state. I don't know if you're aware of that. And also the number of students in the West Valley Band program that have gone to state surpasses all the other districts around here. We've had so many students participate at the state competition. we've had our drum majors win awards, like the caption award for best drum major at marching band competitions. I've taken a lot of personal time to participate in band activities, and I've been in rooms where judges were speaking with the bands, and I've heard comments like, "Our bands have never sound better," and I'm just worried that our band is not a priority. And band means so much for kids, especially kids that don't really have a sense of belonging in their school. Like my daughter, she struggled socially for a really long time. She was actually a part of the preschool program here. She had an autism diagnosis. Now she's graduating and going to WSU to be a music instructor. So, I mean, there's been great things that have happened in this district, but without music education, I don't know like where she would have been. You know, it's really what got her through school for a lot. You know, for most of her schooling it's been because of the band and just the community that's provided. So that's all I wanted to say. Just wanted to shout out that we have a really great band program, and we should invest in our teachers that are teaching band, because it's a very big job. It's a lot of responsibility. Thank you.
Well, and a shout out to your daughter too for graduating. That's very exciting. Good job, Mom. Let's see here.
Orlando.
I don't know why I was thinking that was a G.
It does look a
What?
little bit-
Orlando Garcia. Thank you.
Good evening, sir, ma'am. My name is Orlando Garcia, and I'm here to address some concerns that myself and other parents have with our current wrestling program. Basically, we have filed formal inquiries, and unfortunately, month after month, we get no responses or meetings. And this happened also 3 years ago when my daughter was in the program. She's now currently graduated and gone, but I have my son that's vested in this program. He's a freshman at this school, and he's the only freshman in the whole state to make it to state this year at his weight class. But that is not because of this program. That is because of other coaches that care and other parents that care. The current head coach that's been at this program 30 plus years has a lack of accountability, transparency, and at this point, we as parents feel he needs to move on, and someone else needs to lead the program into a different vision into the future, not only for current wrestlers, but wrestlers that are coming up from the junior high. And we have quite a few of those, including girls, that we are going to have a astronomical amount come up this year. And I can speak to that because I've been assisting in that school as well. And we do not have a female head coach that is over the girls. So that also creates an issue. And there have been multiple years where tournaments have been missed because there's no girls head coach. The kick the can down the road mentality has gone on way too long, in my opinion, long before I've been up at the high school. And there needs to be change. I empower you to please do your research and help this program for the sake of our kids now and in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. I can't make out the first name. Engler is the last name? No problem. I just didn't even want to take a shot.
This is short. Well, I'm just.
Tell me your first name.
My first name is Inga.
Oh, okay. So
My
I
last
would have
name
been
is
right.
Engler.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
have also a son in the wrestling team, and I support this. What Orlando was saying. We have great wrestlers coming in the future. We have great wrestlers coming from the middle school, coming to high school. In the last year, there was a lot of parents supporting to the wrestling team in West Valley. We have created a new club for West Valley. So the kids are ready to get a little bit more in wrestling, and they're all very excited to go transition from middle school to high school. And we have a very strong freshman kids there also, and they all work hard. And I think we should give them the chance, the ones that are there and the ones that are coming next, to support that program strongly. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Kylie Schilling.
Hi, my name is Kylie Schilling. I teach at Summit View Elementary. I'm just going to read a letter that I presented to the school, the district, last week. So, dear members of West Valley and West Valley School Board, students of low socioeconomic status live in a constant state of stress. The prevalence and severity of both stressful life events and daily hassles are greater among low socioeconomic status kids. A child who lives in a stressful home environment often takes that stress into school in the form of disruptive behavior and impulsivity. I also provided a works cited page, so if you want that at the end, you can let me know. Although there are a few quick fix solutions, the factors of poverty, lack of secure family environment, trauma, and/or dysfunctional families, research begun long ago strongly suggests that a caring, mentoring relationship plays a huge role in contributing to the resilience of at-risk youth. Why are we doing the opposite of effective research and telling the community that a school with the majority enrolled being low SES doesn't have the funds to keep a counselor to counsel the children that need it most? Why are we doing the opposite of research that we are expected to learn, study, and follow from district implemented book studies, which I quote and paraphrase here in my letter? This year, Mrs. Robinson has frequently stepped in to support behavioral issues in my classroom so I could focus on teaching the curriculum. You may see her role as unnecessary. However, the low socioeconomic enrollment at Summit View requires an additional counselor resource to maintain equity in our district, which directly impacts our school's academic growth. The current plan to increase funding for the PAL program is increasing the achievement gap, especially when you are removing a vital resource for at-risk kids. I am disappointed in your decision to remove Mrs. Robinson from the students at Summit View. I can't come to you when I have a student scream, "I want to kill myself," a third grader, while in the middle of a science experiment, when said student runs from the building because they don't understand math. I went to Mrs. Robinson. She worked with the parents, myself, and the student on a weekly basis, building a relationship of trust, creating positive behavior intervention plan, and teaching the student effective coping emotional regulation skills. Low SES students act out as they struggle to show appropriate emotions, especially in class. These are teachable skills, and the research suggests that they are a huge predictor of future social and academic outcomes, even as early as kindergarten. At birth, the attachment formed between a parent and child predicts the quality of future relationships with teachers and peers. My classroom has 7 students that have been abandoned by one or more parents. Not divorced, abandoned. Taking Mrs. Robinson away from these children is taking an accountable, stable, and constant adult in these students' lives away. I have 20 students in my entire class that are negatively impacted when I have a student knock over chairs to show anger about losing grandfather's necklace at recess, while I'm trying to have a class do a book study. This is beyond the teacher needs help. These children need help. Our Summit View community needs help. We have that in this counseling position. I quote a book here by Eric Jensen. It says, Eric Jensen, who is the author of Teaching with Poverty in Mind, What Being Poor Does to Kids' Brains and What Schools Can Do About It. And it says, all children need reliable, positive adults in their lives. When a child's early experiences are chaotic, or if at least one parent is absent, the child's developing brain often becomes insecure and stressed. I'm asking you to do your part for our community. Show these children they are not yet again not worth it and abandoned. Find the funds to keep Mrs. Robinson or the position so she can continue to work with these children susceptible to feelings of isolation and unlovable, poor academic performance, behavioral problems, dropping out of school, and drug abuse. Because as wonderful as a teacher as I am, and as much as I love these kids, I can't teach state standards on a mastery scale, evaluate a classroom when a child starts throwing things, while listening to my student that lives with grandmother that his weekend was hard because their oven doesn't work and grandfather's in jail again. I can't do this alone. We can't do this with one counselor. We need you to do your part so we can do ours and the kids can count on us. I am Ms. Schilling. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Thank you. Bruce Moore.
Wow, I got to follow that. That's a tearjerker. Oh, why is this not working today? Thank you very much for hearing. Thank you, members of the board. My name is Bruce Moore. I am the current Music Booster band president. With the recent happenings in the band department, myself, several parents, and students especially, are concerned about what's going to be happening moving forward with marching band and the other bands that they participate in. We've gone through and Mr. Knight, the director, has established a certain scale of where he wants these students to be. You already heard from another one of our booster members regarding the excellence that a lot of our bands have been having the last few years, especially since COVID. Getting the numbers up since COVID. We have enough to be doing all three bands again this year. So, you know, we have some good things going in the right directions the way they need to be going. We're also going through and stepping up our game in the marching band program, you know, going to different competitions this year. We won several awards last year. Mr. Knight has given the kids freedoms with their shows to pull things, add things, change things. And with our final show, they did a major change at the very end, and it just rocked the whole stadium, and they got a standing ovation out of it. It was amazing. I had goosebumps being there on the field watching it. It was spectacular to see. The other things that are brought up, you know, us going to state constantly, year after year, the last 2 years, with all of our different bands have been available for going to skate and have been successful. Watching these kids grow together, creating a band community, getting other parents involved. We have a lot of parents that are being involved this year just because of how successful our band program has been. And now we're concerned about how many steps back we're going to be taking. And that's not very good. The other aspect is we are getting another new band director. Like it has been stated before, this will be the third one for some of our seniors. That's ridiculous, in my opinion. I moved 3 different schools in my high school career. I did band in all 3 schools. I did marching band for a school in Texas where marching band and football is a league of their own. And it's undescribable. And what we had here, I could see striving to what I had in Texas on what was being held accountable. With that being said, a lot of these students feel like their voices are not heard, feel like they have no say in the matter. And us parents are feeling the same way as well. And we would like to be heard. We would like to see about having some representatives from the student body, from the parents, being available in the hiring of the new band director or whatever we can do to possibly keep the director we have available right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that brings us to the end of the list. Give me a second. I'm not going to close the public comment period. I'm going to give a few more people the opportunity to speak. I do want to say, probably should have said at the beginning, that the school board did receive, back on the counseling issue, the school board did receive the letters. I believe there were 26 letters written, 2 of which were from speakers that addressed the board tonight. So I do want to say that we did receive those, and those were circulated to all of the board members when we received those. So I did want to say that. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up for a few more people that would like to speak. Go ahead. Please identify yourself first and have at it.
All right. Well, I am nervous. I know there's been a lot of talk about behavioral health. Some of you, your speech, the teacher was amazing, almost made me cry. But my name is Nikki Lamont, and I'm a parent of 2 children that are attending West Valley schools. I first want to start off by saying Summitview Elementary is by far one of the best schools I have ever seen and had a pleasure of working with. There is a recommendation that there should only be 1 counselor in the schools instead of 2. I'm not aware of who would ever recommend this to happen, as that it would be unethical to so many students. I'm very nervous, sorry. First example, my son, who went to Summitview, had the experience of only having 1 counselor. The counselor that was there clearly was overwhelmed with the children she was trying to help. Some kids would come to see her, but most days was busy with kids and did not have the time to see them all. Even if she could see all of them, would she have given each kid adequate time? Were they all heard, etc.? Example 2. There are 2 counselors at the school now, and I wish that was the case when my son was in school. My nephew, who I have custody of, is now at Summitview. My nephew has had a hard life with so much trauma and pain. If there wouldn't have been 2 counselors at the school to help him cope with his fears, griefs, angers, his losses, I would have had to pull him out of school, or I don't know what I would have done. The counselor, which is Miss Robinson, the teacher and the principal, Miss Lust, all worked with my family in a time of need. My nephew has built a relationship and trust with this team, especially Miss Robinson, which is very hard for him to do. Ooh, I'm shaking. I work in a mental health facility here in town. We have therapists, counselors for adults and children. At my job, they recommend 1 therapist to 100 clients. Right now, with shortages, there's 1 therapist up to 200 clients. They can only see clients once every 2 months. Does that help anybody? Counseling once every 2 months? What you're asking is 1 counselor to 500 plus children. Yes, every child might not see the counselor. Let's break it down by half. 250 students per 1 counselor. How can this be done? The counselor will be burned out and or leave, and the students are not getting the services that should be offered to them. Whoever recommended this change needs to reconsider what the impact will do to these children. Some kids look forward to going to school because their family and they need a counselor to talk to because they have no one else. Think of what I said here today in consideration of keeping 2 counselors instead of 1.
Thank you. Other public comments? Please.
I'm Madeline Philp. I'm here also representing the junior high wrestling team. I have been wrestling for the junior high for the past 2 years now, and I was also an assistant coach for our coaches Alyssa Cheney and Jeff Cazzetto in the past 2 years. Nevin Kreider has attended a majority of our home matches as a high school coach. A large majority of our high school parents transfer wrestlers down to the middle level campus to watch us wrestle. It shows the love and support they show for our wrestling program. Never once did I ever see Sty attend any of the wrestling tournaments or matches and support his upcoming wrestlers. So
Thank you.
there should be change.
Madeline, say your last name for me one more, for Miss Smith.
Madeline Philp.
Phil, thank you. All right, anybody else? Okay, I'll go ahead and close the public comment period, and I'll close it by saying thank you to everybody that spoke, everybody that was very nervous. I can appreciate it. Y'all did very well, and we appreciate your time and consideration in addressing the board this evening. Thank you very much. Item 8 is approval of action items. So we have approval of minutes from our last school board meeting held on the 23rd. So that was a board meeting and a study session. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Strong makes a motion. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0. Next up, 8B is approval of travel requests. We have 7 before the board. We have a training for a staff member, and then we have some athletic events coming up for state golf and some basketball tournaments involving our high school basketball coaches. So any questions on the travel requests? Otherwise, we can take these as a group, approve them as a group.
I'll make a motion to approve all 7 as a group.
Thank you. Mr. Walcott makes a motion. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Next up is item 9A, which is an action item on approval of resolutions delegating authority to the Washington Interscholastic Athletic Association. This is an annual resolution that the school district passes, basically saying that we're going to compete in athletics under the WIAA rules and regulations. Did you have any comments about that? Otherwise, we can take up a motion to pass that resolution.
I move we make a motion to go ahead and pass the resolution as presented.
Okay. Go ahead and call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries on resolution 2405-764, 5-0. 9B, approval of policy additions and revisions. This is a second reading from the last school board meeting, which are just some updates and some renumbering that Dr. Finch explained at the last meeting. The first reading, I don't believe, had any revisions. So now this is the second reading. Does anybody have any further questions or comments or concerns? If not, we can approve the 4 second readings as a group with a motion.
Make a motion.
Thank you. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion carries on second reading of 2124, 6700, 6701, and 6702, 5-0. On item 9C, approval of instructional materials. Before I normally, well, first of all, just by way of some background for the audience, we moved this from the last school board meeting because board members expressed a desire to review the materials. The materials that have been passed by the instructional committee or instructional materials committee, and there are several. And normally we would take this as a group. We don't have to. We can go, and I might suggest maybe that we go group by group in the materials, if that's okay.
Yes, I have a recommendation.
Go ahead,
For
please.
how to group
Yes.
based off some feedback. So
Okay.
I am suggesting that we split. We have a group of materials that would include the Into Reading, Mike, the Essentials of Psychology, and the American Government and Politics Today, as well as the two films, Words on the Bathroom Walls and the film Inside Out, as a group. And then the remainder of the items vote one at a time, so that there may be comments,
Okay.
if that's.
I'd second that motion.
Well, we haven't made a motion yet, but just kind of in terms of like how we're gonna attack that. So let me just
what? I know
that
now
was
I'm all-
slightly different than I was just gonna go.
Yes.
I was just gonna go agenda item by agenda item.
Well, you can certainly do that. I was just trying to shorten the time. But you
No,
can
no,
vote- you
yeah,
can
no,
vote
that's okay because
with 9
that
items.
makes sense.
So it would be Into Reading, the K-5 ELA curriculum,
Okay.
the 9th grade novel Mike, the grades 10 through 12.
But then we have the remarkable journey of
Yeah,
Coyote Summer.
That's in the second group.
Okay. So
That's
you're
why I'm reading it.
you're okay. I got no. I'm
So,
no. That's
yes.
fine.
So the Essentials of Psychology Concepts and Application, which
Okay.
is the grades 10 through 12 college and the high school text. The grade 12 American Government and Politics Today, the Essentials, along with the film Words on the Bathroom Walls and the film Inside Out is being presented as a group for a vote. So it's this one, and then this one,
Okay.
this one, and this one.
Okay. So
And then the others take one at a time because there may be comments.
okay. Is that reasonably clear to the board members?
Yeah, that's clear to me, and I accept that. I do have, as a member of the Instructional Materials Committee, would like to make some comments.
Okay.
But it's also going to reflect on a couple of books.
So how about this? Let's take the and I'll read them again that we're going to take as a group first. So I'll read those off. I'll ask for comments and discussion from the board. When there is no further comments or discussions on the one that we're going to take up, then we can take a motion. And then we'll do that. We'll go through that same process for the various ones, if that's okay with the board. Okay. So, all right. So the first one up for discussion would be the grades K through 5 intro.
Into Reading.
Into reading, not intro. Into reading. Grade 9 is the novel, English language novel, Mike. Grades 10 through 12 is Essentials of Psychology Concepts and Applications. Grade 12, American Government and Politics Today, the Essentials. Grades 11 through 12 is the film Words on the Bathroom Walls. And grades 11 through 12, the film Inside Out. Comments and discussion from the board.
I got to review K Into Reading, grade 1 and 5, and it was remarkable. It's an excellent resource, and it was one I was able to read cover to cover, and I was fully behind.
Okay.
I read all of the books on the list, and back and forth conversations. One of them was psychology, where there is some elements of the psychology textbook that didn't meet the requirements of what we were talking about, but they were outside of the syllabus, and so it is a good book for my opinion.
Okay.
I would just like to add, so not specifically about the book, but I guess if we can consider the review process, because I was looking at the report and there was 4 parents that were absent, and I think if we could have a backup parent, perhaps, and I think understanding the importance of those parents playing that role, I wish they would have been there. And there's, what can you do about that? But I think it is important that our parents are there. And so that's just my concern. And I hope we can maybe consider as we go the next time is that maybe we can create a lotto process or something that allows, I believe it's a lotto process.
It
to
is
pick 'em
a
now,
lotto.
but
It
to
is
have a backup.
Yes, a
Okay.
random draw. So I did reach out to all of the committee members several times. I never heard that anyone was not going to attend. But we did have an idea that was presented about having almost like an alternate committee that would, almost like an alternate juror pool that would, yes, thank you, Mr. Wolcott, that would go through the whole process with the committee and be present at the committee meeting in case there were parents or staff members that aren't there that can vote. So they have the same experience.
Yeah.
So we will certainly do that in the fall. I do reach out to the committee members that don't attend and, find out if they're interested in remaining on the committee or if we need to replace them. And so we will do that as well.
You will continue to reach out to the committee and not necessarily
Absolutely.
if they want to be on, you're not removing anybody.
No, I will
Yes.
reach out in the fall and say, you didn't attend in the spring. Are you still interested in being on the committee? Just like I do with those who did attend.
Right.
We did have some this fall who said, I'm not interested. That's why I didn't come. And then we were able to replace them. So, but the alternate committee member idea and having them go through the same process and be trained was a great idea. So we will honor that idea.
Okay. Anything else on the 6 of these that we could potentially take as a group? And if not, I would entertain a motion to approve the 6 as a group.
I'll make that motion now.
Thank you. Call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign. Stephanie, you got that? Okay, I won't read it again. Okay. All right. Okay, next up for discussion, it would be grade 8, which is a English language novel entitled The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise.
I'd just like to make a few comments.
Go ahead.
In general that I prepared. We've already talked about some of them, so I'll try to skip those. But I was asked to sit on the Instructional Materials Committee this year as a non-voting member. And I really appreciate, as I was there, just seeing all the work of all the teachers and Stacy and everyone, and just the putting out the effort to put out all the materials for us to come and review. That was awesome. I came to both of them and looked through, even took some home and read through them. As we've already said, I was disappointed that only 4 out of 8 parents showed up at the meeting, but I believe that you did a great job trying to contact everybody and get people there. So no fault of the school district at all. I appreciate accepting the idea of choosing some alternates. I think that might help a little bit. I appreciate that. I just wanted to express a few thoughts on, I was concerned originally about the explicit sexuality in some of the poems by Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass, but I appreciated Maria Lacey presenting those poems that you would just use from the book and not those particular ones, and I really appreciate that. And so I will be a yes on that book. Unfortunately, I'm going to probably vote no on the Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise, which is to be used in 8th grade. I like the book as a whole, but due to some of the sexual themes in the book and how it covers parents' non-acceptance of a lifestyle, it's just too bad because so much of the other book is good, but I'll probably vote no on that one. I've been really mixed on the novel for sophomore honors English called The House on Mango Street. Still debating in my head on that one. I'm leaning toward no because of the themes of gender and sexuality woven throughout the book. at least with one instance of assault and rape, and I just don't think that needs to be dealt with in the classroom. But again, thanks for all the work in choosing the books and researching, for listening. Obviously, there'll be disagreements at some points, but hopefully with respect. I show no disrespect to anybody. That's my feelings.
Anything else?
Are we taking these separately or? as
We were
a-
going to take them separately, yeah. So the next one is, the next one that we're going to take is, I was going to move that to the end.
Okay,
Well, because yours had an arrow at the end.
well, that was.
Okay.
Use this one. These are the three that we just had comments on this, but I think Mr. Wolcott commented on some of the others. So if you want to vote on that one and then have comments.
Okay, so okay. Well, okay, no problem. Well, so let me start with House on Mango Street then. Does the board, other than Mr. Wolcott, if he wants to make any more remarks about that one, please. Does anybody else have any comments about House on Mango Street? Okay. I will make a motion to approve the house on Mango Street, and I will call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Roll call vote. We'll start immediately from the left.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Motion carries 3-2. Next up is grade 8, The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. Any additional comments from school board members?
Yeah, after reading the book, the first half is very engaging. It's really good. Second half takes a very significant turn towards just a message of police are bad, authorities are bad, children are the boss. And as it kept going, there's no consequences. It gets to the point where it doesn't reveal the values of West Valley School District. And so after reading it, I'm a no.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Again, I'll call for a roll call vote, starting at my left.
No.
No. No, no.
No, no.
Yes.
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 No.
Okay. The motion fails. 3 no's, 2 yes on Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise. Next item is grade 11, Leaves of Grass, 1885. Comments, discussion from the board?
I appreciated the ability to look at the curriculum and to review this book. After reviewing the themes and the context of it, it would be a no for me.
Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Call for a roll call again, starting at my left.
No.
No.
No. Yes.
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 The motion carries on Leaves of Grass, 1885, 3-2. Did I get them all?
You got them all.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, board members.
Happy to have that wrapped up.
Okay. Thanks
Thank
for your
you.
thanks for your help. All right. Items arising. Hearing none. Superintendent's report.
As presented in the board packet, I would just like to publicly call out the last item on the superintendent's report, which is that due to the construction, the high school track will not be available for public use beginning on Monday, May 20th, 2024. But I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised when it is available.
Great.
So it'll be worth the wait.
Yeah, thank you. Item 12, board reports, board development. Nothing this evening. Okay. Well, once again, I'd just like to thank the audience members that stuck with us tonight. I, again, sincerely apologize for being late this evening. And I especially apologize to our staff and to my fellow board members for my tardiness, but I appreciate your grace. Thank you, and we are adjourned. Thank you.